Welcome to the William and Mary Counseling Center information session, offered during the Parent and Family Orientation. I am Dr. Karina Sudarsky-Glaser. I am the director of the Counseling Center. I have been at William and Mary for 28 years, and the last 8 I have functioned in the director role. I want to start with a little bit of humor and trying to remind you of how you may have felt when your student was starting their first day of school, and actually how different it may feel now as they start the first day of college. The feelings that you may be experiencing may be related to a certain degree about or to how your student is feeling about these different transitions and how they were feeling back then, as their reactions, anxieties, excitements may impact the family and how parents are perceiving the transition to be. Hopefully, learning a little bit about the resources offered to students on campus will give you some reassurance and peace of mind knowing how much support students can access. One of the offices that offers a lot of support to students is the Counseling Center. We are situated in the McLeod-Tyler Integrative Wellness Center on the second floor. The McLeod-Tyler Integrative Wellness Center is an amazing, really beautiful building in the middle of campus. And what is interesting is that it is a very modern structure that differentiates itself from many of the other buildings on campus. And this was in part with the idea of emphasizing how much William and Mary really concentrates on the issues of wellness for our students. The students come to the Wellness Center through the main door. They are often greeted by a wellness ambassador who is a student concentrating on sharing the vision of the Wellness Center and the focus of students attending to their wellness as an important aspect of their relationship with the university and with their experience at William and Mary. The Integrated Wellness Center offers, on the first floor is the health center next to this beautiful water wall or fountain that has this beautiful sound that our students often enjoy by sitting, chatting, talking, or studying in the lobby of the wellness building. They also have amazing spaces for classes such as yoga, meditation, mindfulness, etc. As students go to the second floor for the counseling center, there are these very cool, they find it very cool lamps, and as you see, trees and really green spaces surrounding the building. Our offices are very welcoming. We want to send the students the message that this is to be a safe and warm environment. We offer them coffees and teas, and offices are decorated in such a way that are supposed to be calm and inviting. In terms of the scope of services of the Counseling Center, it is important to note that we provide services to all students, but we are not a comprehensive mental health facility. For individual therapy, we see students every other week for about a semester. The reason for this scope is a social justice type of perspective, attending to issues of access. If we were to see students every week for the 4 years that they are here, we will only be able to serve a very small subpopulation of the student community. As such, in order to offer services to as many students as possible, we created this scope of service that attends to what we believe we are able to provide to most students. And that is, again, every other week services for individual therapy for about a semester worth of time. For students who need more specialized, longer term, or more intensive, frequent therapy, we invite students to connect with a provider in the community. Generally speaking, we offer them a meeting with a mental health services coordinator, unless they don't want to do that and they prefer to, and we respect their autonomy if they prefer to find the therapist themselves. But if they choose to meet with the mental health services coordinator, this person is going to meet with them, make sure that a provider that they may be recommending takes their health insurance, and they will have received the mental health services coordinator a report from the clinician who originally met with the student, so that they know exactly what type of concerns they have, what type of services they are looking for, if the provider needs to be walking distance, or if they have transportation and they could drive and see the provider if they are a few minutes away by car. It is important to know also that students can talk with a mental health provider after hours and on weekends. There are basically 2 ways to do that. One is to call our number 757-221-3620, and they will talk to the provider on call. Or they can use Timely Care Talk Now feature. Timely Care is a virtual platform that the university has contracted for and that all students have access to, and they offer different types of services that I'm going to talk a little later about. At this point, I want to emphasize that through that platform, students can talk to a counselor at any time, day, night, weekends, etc. In terms of our utilization, I want to share how students may use the counseling service for multiple reasons. For some, it's just a self-care strategy. They find that talking to a counselor is helpful to maintain well-being. In many cases, students who are feeling overall really well and managing all the different aspects of their life, at times they may just want to talk to a counselor, say every 3 weeks, once a month, to almost as a check-in and to stay on track with maybe goals that they already have achieved. For some other students, they are seeking service to continue work that they were doing at some point, at some time with a previous provider before maybe coming to William & Mary, and they want to continue that work. For others, they are seeking help in relationship to a current concern or a situation that is recent, that is negatively affecting them, and negatively impacting their level of functioning. It could be the academic functioning, social functioning, etc. The most common presenting concerns, the number one is anxiety. Several years ago, across the nation, actually, the number one presenting concern for counseling centers used to be depression, but that has changed, and again, nationwide, the number one for college students is anxiety, followed by depression. And number 3 is interpersonal concerns. In addition, students often present with some type of family distress, academic performance issues, for some is experiences of trauma, eating and body image concerns, self-esteem and self-confidence, perfectionism, attention concentration difficulties, and adjustment or transition issues. If you think about issues of perfectionism, considering that William & Mary is such a selective university, it is not a surprise that many of our students are trying to manage issues of perfectionism. In terms of adjustment and transition, we see a lot of students who may have some difficulties with transitioning into the university, but we also see it towards the end during the senior year for students transitioning out. In terms of how we work, it is important to know that students should, if they want to start therapy, they should schedule what is called an initial consultation. So students may be able to call, walk in, or schedule online these initial consultations. Initial consultations are available throughout the semester. There may be a little bit of more of a wait time during the middle of the semester than at the beginning. So that's important to know. But we try to not have a wait time that is longer than a week or two, which is very good if you were to compare with seeking services elsewhere. For urgent need or emergencies, students can be seen the same day at the counseling center. Or as I said before, they can use the Timely Care Talk Now feature. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. We offer different types of services. Individual therapy is one of them. But we also offer group therapy, and that is an approach that is highly successful for students managing any type of interpersonal type of concerns. If you think about it, students can practice a lot of communication skills, interpersonal skills in a group setting when they are doing group therapy, in contrast to individual therapy. In addition, we offer performance management consultations, and those are, for instance, specific concerns that a student may be dealing with, such as students experiencing public speaking concerns, test anxiety, so a very specific performance-related issue. As I mentioned before, we offer emergency or urgent appointments. Students just can walk in and they will be seen that day, or they can use, as I said before, the Talk Now feature in Timely Care. After hours on call, if a student calls after 5, our same phone number, they will be connecting with a therapist. And that is also the case during weekends. Consultations are meetings in which a student is going to address concerns about others. So they may be concerned about a sibling, a roommate, their best friend, their partner, and they want to explore best ways to support that other person. So a therapist will give them some guidance as to how to support them or how to refer, say, a roommate, a friend, to the counseling center. Outreach, any type of group or organization could request through our website, through an outreach request form, that any of the clinicians go to their organization their meeting and provides psychoeducation on any specific topic that they are interested in. I mentioned already referrals to the community by our mental health services coordinator following an initial consultation with a clinician, but also if someone already knows that what they need is beyond the scope of the counseling center, or they have a specific interest in working with a specialist, then they can request directly to meet with the mental health services coordinator for a referral appointment to be connected with a community provider. And last but not least, we recommend or can coordinate services with other supports and offices on campus, such as care support services, accessibility services, academic well-being, residence life, etc. Because I am aware that many families don't know about tuition reimbursement insurance, I want to let you know that if you have a student who has significant either medical or psychological issues, and it's possible or likely that they may need to take a leave during a semester, it's worth checking on tuition reimbursement insurance. I am aware that just looking online, parents have learned about different companies and the different reimbursement that they offer. So just in case their student were to need some time off from the university. An extremely important concept for clinicians, therapists, is the issue of confidentiality. Our federal and state laws, as well as the ethics of our profession, prohibit therapists from disclosing any type of information to parents, siblings, friends, professors, deans, without the student's written permission for that disclosure. There are a few exceptions, four basically exceptions to the confidentiality requirement. One is cases where there is high likelihood that a student may come to harm themselves or others without additional help. Number two is if a student discloses any abuse of a minor, elderly person, or person with significant disabilities that cannot protect themselves. A third one, which rarely happens, but it's important to know about, is if records are being subpoenaed by a judge. In my decades of experience as a clinician, I have never had that happen. So it's important to know it's very rare. And the fourth exception is if the threat assessment team at William & Mary were to request information, and that is basically if they were to know that a student is posing any threat to the community, and they have the right to then ask for information about their clinical records of that student. Moving away from confidentiality, I want to share a little bit about who our staff is. So we consider ourselves as generalists with expertise in collegiate mental health. We also all have been trained and have a lot of experience working with students with diverse identities. But we are not a specialist in eating disorders or OCD or trauma. So we have worked with all of those issues, but our we are generalists. Our staff includes therapists and clinicians and different professional identities within that group. There are psychologists, social workers, and counselors. In addition, we have doctoral psychology interns and advanced doctoral trainees. So psychology interns are completing their last year of training with us. It's a full-time APA or American Psychological Association accredited program, and students, interns come from anywhere in the United States and Canada for a very selective, through a very selective process to get one of the 3 positions we offer here at William & Mary. And once they complete the internship, they receive their doctoral degree. Our advanced doctoral trainees are also students in doctoral programs in psychology, and they are in their either 3rd or 4th year of training. Last but not least, we have our support staff who welcome students in the reception area, who check them in before they meet with the clinicians at the office. This is a slide that I would recommend many of you take a picture of, as it provides information about timely care. You can also find information on our website. But so timely care, again, is a service that William & Mary contracted with to offer students online, virtual, different type of therapeutic approaches, including ongoing counseling, health coaching, which is guidance, support for students who want to work on any specific health-related issues, such as improving sleep, increasing their participation in exercise, smoking cessation, things like that. And they meet with a mental health coach to work on those issues. Psychiatry, if any student needs to be referred for psychiatric services, this is a service that Timely Care offers. They do need to be referred by either their own Timely Care counselors or by ourselves or by physicians in the health center for the psychiatric services within Timely Care. Talk Now, I referred before, is a way that students can reach out to a counselor at any time, day or night, through this virtual platform. And last but not least, there are psychoeducational materials that students can access just by visiting Timely Care. In order to get to Timely Care, students can use this QR code. They can, all they need is to log in with their school email address and go through the registration to connect with them. It's just something very simple, but filling out some information required there. They can also visit our website, and there are the instructions of how to register with Timely Care. I tend to tell students it's better to register and not need the services than to need it and have to then register at the time that they are wanting to talk with someone right away. So better to have it and not need it than need it and don't have it. I want to thank you for listening to this video and this presentation, and I want to congratulate you for supporting your student to get to be here a student at William & Mary. My most sincere congratulations. And I would love your feedback about the information provided here. So please feel free to use this QR code and complete the evaluation. Thanks so much.